Hi, good evening. You're watching the Newshour this evening with me, Kritsween Walia. Viewers, the entire country is mourning the worst railway accident in the country in the last 28 years. The death toll has crossed 270. More than 1,000 people have sustained injuries, most of whom are undergoing treatment still. Today, we as a country need to introspect and act in order to not come across such devastating tragedies in years to come. And hence, efforts are on in full swing to zero in on the root cause of the triple train collision that took place in Odisha on Friday evening. The railway officials say a signalling error appears to be the reason, but they will wait for the probe to conclude before taking that position. While politics has erupted over the incident, the opposition is demanding accountability, raising questions on the incident. Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, who's been at the accident site, has announced the centre's recommendation of a CBI probe into the accident.
जिस सिचुएशन में ये दुर्घटना हुई है और जो परिस्थितियां हैं उन सब को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो कुछ अब तक का एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है उस सब को ध्यान में रखते हुए आगे की इंक्वायरी के लिए आगे के इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए इस केस को इस पूरे मामले को सीबीआई के पास देने का रेलवे बोर्ड की तरफ से रिकमेंडेशन किया जा रहा है.
While the work is happening on a war footing, opposition leaders implored Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw to take up moral responsibility for the accident and resign. They raised questions on the safety systems in place, saying that instead of high-speed trains, focus should have been on the safety of passengers.
आप मित्रजाल में फंसकर आम नागरिक की चिंता छोड़कर सिर्फ और सिर्फ चमकती धमकती पीआर के ऊपर के चक्कर में पड़ गए. अब आपको एक नीति छोड़नी पड़ेगी. प्राण जाए पर पीआर न जाए, ये नीति छोड़नी पड़ेगी.
This is sure it's a total failure of government of India, railway minister plus prime minister. और लापरवाही तो हुई. इतना बड़ा हादसा हो गया, लेकिन अभी भी किसी पे जिम्मेवारी जो है वो तय नहीं है कि जिम्मेवार कौन है.
शास्त्री रेल्वेचे मंत्री असताना एकदा ॲक्सिडेंट असा झाला, पुन्हा एकदा झाला आणि तो झाल्याच्या नंतर जवाहरलाल नेहरू राजीनामा देण्याच्या विरुद्ध होते, पण तरी शास्त्रींनी ही माझी नैतिक जबाबदारी, मी या पदावर जाऊ इच्छित नाही असं सांगितलं आणि त्यांनी राजीनामा दिला. आता हा एक उदाहरण देशाच्या समोर आहे. आजच्या राज्यकर्त्यांनी त्याला योग्य असेल ते करावं.
The opposition also rigged a letter written by the Southwestern Railways in the month of February this year, which flagged up flaws in the system. The letter highlighted that the loco pilot back in the month saved the day, but due to the technical errors, a major tragedy could have taken place. While questions were raised on the Kavach system as well, the anti-collision system, the railway board addressed the media, detailing what the probe into the incident has revealed so far. The board said that even if Kavach was active on the route, the Coromandel 3 train tragedy could not have been avoided. The board member in fact revealed that the cause was some kind of signalling interference, but whether it was manual, whether related, anything else would be revealed after the full probe concluded.
There is probability of some kind of a signalling, not even, I wouldn't even call it a failure. A signalling interfere, whether it was manual, whether it was incidental, whether it was weather related, whether it was wear and tear related, whether it was a maintenance failure, all that is going to come out only after the inquiry. In this case, where the route ahead was clearly unobstructed, Kavach would have also followed that logic and not applied the brakes. However, if suddenly, supposing a boulder drops, okay, right in front of the train, then I'm sorry, even Kavach will not be effective.
Amid opposition's tirade against the railway minister, the BJP has hit back at the criticism. The party says that unlike previous railway ministers who indulged in photo ops, Ashwini Vaishnav has been at the accident site for hours on end, overseeing rescue operations and restoration work alike. BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya highlighted the work done by Ashwini Vaishnav as the railway minister, while also pointing out his track record in comparison to other railway ministers like Mamata Banerjee, Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad Yadav, with over 50 collisions in their tenure each, with over 1,000 deaths being reported. Now that's the war of words. Unfortunately, we're having to focus on this as we keep up with the latest as far as investigations are concerned. Let's quickly open this up. Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swarajya, with us, along with the Jaiprakash Majumdar, state vice president and spokesperson of the TMC. We also have Kamru Choudhury, leader of the Congress party, along with Mr. Ramakrishnan TS, railway expert, with us to neutrally put this in perspective. But my first question is to Tushar Gupta, because questions are going to be asked, Tushar. We've lost more than 270 lives, more than 1,000 people who've sustained injuries, many of whom are still undergoing treatment, and we don't know what that number at the end of it all is going to be. But the fact remains, and that's what the opposition today is speaking of, is highlighting that if you had similar concerns which were flagged by the Southwestern Railway Operations Manager back in February this year, why were they not paid attention to?
Well, this is something that will come out in the later stages of the inquiry, and I hope that the findings of those inquiry are indeed made public. Look, the questions need to be asked. Make no mistake, the questions need to be asked about the government, about its handling of the issues that were raised earlier by the railway officials. But my concern is with the politicization of the issue by the opposition. You can ask for the resignation of the railways minister. They have been doing that since the evening of the accident, but they fail to understand that in the early hours, in the wake of the accident, what is needed is to ensure that the rescue operations are undertaken at a hyperdrive mode, that the treatment of the ones who have been injured is happening at the hospitals nearby, that they're getting all the facilities that they need, and the restoration work also happens, and that is what the minister has been engaging in. But make no mistake, the incident should not be brushed under the carpet because of the news cycles that keep coming and going. The inquiries, as the railway minister, as the government, as everyone else involved in the restoration work has also said, will be made, they will be coming out in the later stages, and they need to be made public, more importantly, Kritsween, because if there is any sabotage or any angle, or if there is any human error or any technical issue that was not addressed, the people have a right to know as to what went wrong, and accountability must be fixed.
Okay. All right, accountability must be fixed indeed. But as far as, the technical aspect is concerned, and whether or not there is any merit to this particular question that is today being raised by the opposition, I want to quickly bring in Mr. Ramakrishnan. Mr. Ramakrishnan, I want to quickly quote what that letter stated, which goes back to 9th of February 2023. Of the several things it highlighted, it also spoke of the SMS panel. Now, the SMS panel, the incident indicates, it said that there are serious flaws in the system where the route of dispatch gets altered after a train starts on signals with correct appearance of route in the SMS panel. This contravenes the essence and basic principle of interlocking. Now, these are words that, we're not quite well versed with. Interlocking, interference with the signaling. To a layman, sir, help us understand where all of these terms fall in place as far as this accident is concerned, and how true is this criticism coming in from the opposition, because this very well could be key to the investigations that are still ongoing.
Yeah, you should give me at least 4 or 5 minutes uninterrupted, so then I will not come back again. So first thing is, let me tell you how the railway system is functioning. Unlike road network, railway network operates on daily maintenance. That means the track, signaling, overhead electric line are to be maintained on daily basis. If any failure on this will result in some kind of accidents or something of that sort. So unfortunately, in India, the major the high density network, which is connecting all the 4 metropolitan cities as well as their diagonals, which constitute around 12,000 kilometers, is carrying more than 50% of the traffic load. So Kolkata Metro is also one of the highest traffic load, like Chennai like Delhi, Mumbai, and Delhi, Kolkata. So this is the highest, network with highest traffic load, and unfortunately, the Indian Railway has been leveraging the the Indian Railway network so much, so that they don't even get the maintenance people, whether they are maintaining track or whether they are maintaining signaling system or whether they are maintaining overhead electric lines. They are not getting enough time for maintenance. Every day they require at least 3 to 4 hours of maintenance time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, due to the high leverage of these networks, it is not given. So as a result, what happened is, in this particular case, from the information that I have collected from the news reports and other things, this particular point, which has taken a divert towards the local loop line, which has already, it went to hit the goods train there. The signal was given first for traveling in the main line. So, and after the signal was given, there were some people, actually some maintenance personnel, they have been working on this particular point and point machine, and by mistake or by overlooking or by some other means, they might have given a supply, electric supply to the motor that is available there, and so that it becomes reverse instead of normal. If it is normal, the train would have gone straight. If it is reverse, then it would have gone to the loop line, and then it started hitting the thing. So the larger picture is, Indian Railway, before moving towards in-cab signaling, which is a much better signaling system than the spatial signaling.
So are you saying, Mr. Ramakrishnan, that this could very well have been a human error, sir?
And see every time. Human error means, see, basically we are not giving enough time for the IR maintenance personnel for doing this maintenance work.
Okay.
They are there, but because of the track is occupied almost 22 hours or 24 hours a day.
So the suggestion that there should be persistent counselling of maintenance staff is something that the government, the railway ministry also should look at very seriously.
No, it's not about the counselling. It's about, see, we have to, in 24 hours for every section, we need to give 3 to 4 hours for where we should stop the train services, and we should give it for the maintenance. This has been highlighted by Dr. Bibay Debrai report also, who is the economic advisor to the Prime Minister on Economic Advisory Council. So this is not something new. It has been there for the last 30-40 years. This is an issue because we are trying to over-leverage the network. Okay. So trying to maximize our train services, both passenger as well as freight train services, and as a result, this is happening. So before moving to in-cab signaling, first what we have to do is we have to streamline our services so that every section gets 3 to 4 hours of maintenance time. For example, track maintenance. Okay. The ballast has to be packed regularly. Otherwise, what will happen is the track will widen. And when the tracks widen, then the derailment happens. So this is like it is not like a road. In the case of road, the responsibility lies with the driver of the vehicle.
So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and a lot of work that has been done as well in the last so many years, be it under the UPA rule or be it under the Modi dispensation. But that said, these are signs that cannot be ignored, and Mr. Ramakrishnan very clearly highlighted that there's lots to be done. There's a lot of homework that everyone is to take away from what's happened. But we most certainly can't afford it, sir, and that's where the entire problem comes in. That's why we need to fix accountability as well. But to talk about the politics that has erupted in the meanwhile, it's so very unfortunate. And I say this also because I'll come back to you, Mr. Ramakrishnan. There are a couple of other points I want you to come in on. But before that, Mr. Kamru Choudhury, does it feel right, sir, when a tragedy of this nature unfolds with more than 270 people losing their lives, and one after the other, after showing much restraint, and I must give it to the Congress, after exercising that kind of patience, suddenly you had Congress leaders one after the other today come out and say that this is a PR stunt. Pran jaye, but PR na jaye. Does it fit well, sir?
Christian, first and foremost, my condolences to all those who have lost their lives, and hope that the Almighty, praying to the Almighty that all those injured recover very fast and get back to their lives. Now, the point that the Congress party has been raising for so long, Christian, prior to this accident, most of Indians might not even know who the India's railway minister was if it was not highlighted that Mr. Vaishnav was our railway minister. Because it happens because each and every decision that is being taken in India right now, as we have already told, is being taken only by one person from the PMO. So the point out here, why I tell this, because the same railway minister Vaishnav on the floor of the house last year, he delivered a propaganda speech about the Kavach system. You know what is this Kavach system? Prior to 2014, we all knew it was anti-collision device or anti-collision mechanism, whose name was changed into a Kavach system. Now, this Kavach system, the entire budget, as we learn now, is around 1 lakh crores. And how much amount has been spent after 2017 on this? Hardly 500 crores have been spent by the government.
Okay.
So we say that that's
a valid concern, but perhaps for another day, given that our experts have also cited, the Railway Board has also stated in as many words, Mr. Choudhury, that even if the Kavach system was installed on this route, perhaps this tragedy could have not been avoided. And I'll go across to Mr. Ramakrishnan to explain that at length for our viewers tuning in, and what really the system is all about and whether or not it was integral to this particular episode. But as far as the PR criticism is concerned, Mr. Choudhury, let me ask you a very straightforward question, sir. Do we as citizens of the country expect anything less from the railway minister, given the magnitude of this tragedy? Should he not be on ground zero, personally monitoring the situation, personally taking stock of the situation? What else are we to expect of him? If he is doing what he's supposed to do, he's going to be called someone who's going ahead with a PR stunt, like several in the Congress have.
Yeah, Christian, what a wonderful question you have put up. You have put your words in my mouth for the answer. Basically, you see what is the job of the railway minister? His job is to prevent such accidents. His job is not to deliver relief and rescue operation. These are best left to the people, the NDRF and other rescue teams that are available there. Now you go out there, stay out in the day in and day out there on the accident site. What are you doing out there? Is it that the railway minister is having a hands-on approach at the accident site? Now, what have you done all these years as a minister of railways?
Okay.
You could not install a proper
he should not be bothered with the rescue operations. He should not be bothered with the people undergoing treatment in nearby hospitals. Just to add to that, Mr. Choudhury, there was the health minister as well. There was another union minister who was on ground zero, personally monitoring the situation. And if they had not been there, then similar questions would have been asked from the Congress. We would have witnessed all of that and perhaps been debating about the same. But Mr. Ramakrishnan, is it not important that the railway minister be there and personally monitor the situation, given that there is an investigative angle to this? And that's actually the principle, the core of this entire debate, the entire issue at this point in time. That's the firstmost thing we must address. Quick comment, Mr. Ramakrishnan. Is it important that the railway minister be there, or can he be ignored? It's not important that he understands what went wrong.
No, it's very, very, very important. So it's very important, and he has done a wonderful job. And I want to tell you one thing. By the time Modi 1.0 came to power in 2014, India was lagging behind the Western countries, especially the European countries, in railway system by 40 years. And now, after 9 years of Modi government, we have reduced it to 20 years. That means in the 9 years of time, we have done work for 20 years. So this, because as a railway expert, I have been keeping track of every development that has been happening. So it's a legacy issue. The legacy issue was left by the UPA and Congress, and this government, Modi 1 and Modi 2, has done work in the 9 years of government. They have done work for 20 years.
Thank you.
So they need another 10 years to come on par with the European system.
Thank you for exposing yourself.
So that is what actually is the first thing. Second thing is,
Thank you for point, Kritsween.
Okay, Mr. Ramakrishnan, it's not really a good time to give anyone a clean chit, especially given the kind of devastation we've seen, Mr. Ramakrishnan. But I most certainly don't agree with Mr. Choudhury when he says that the railway minister had nothing to do. And that's exactly why the BJP, Mr. Choudhury, says all the previous mantris under the UPA, whenever such a tragedy took place, came there for a photo opportunity for 2 years and they went back to the national capital. That's exactly what he did not do, and thereafter comes this problem from the Congress's side. But there is an allegation that is coming in from the TMC as well, which should be taken up. And before I go across to Mr. Majumdar, let's quickly play out that reaction from Mamata Banerjee and how she had to raise certain questions with the BJP government. Listen in.
And I mentioned in front of all the press, Dharmender was present there and Rail Minister also present there. They didn't oppose this. And they were just like agree, aise kar raha tha. You see the video. दाल में कुछ काला है. मैं चाहती हूँ जो सोच है उसको आप निकाल दो. इससे आने वाला जिंदगी तो बचेगी.
Mr. Majumdar, how would you respond to Mamata Banerjee's statement? First up, she comes out to say that the anti-collision system, the Kavach system, is not installed on this route, and if it were, then this tragedy would have not taken place. Then upon the fact check that came in from the railway department, the railway board, we suddenly see Mamata Banerjee come out with another press conference, another interaction with the media, wherein she's listing her own good doings, the good deeds as a railway mantri. Is that the need of the hour really, sir?
No, what is in that case need of the hour? Need of the hour is to save the Modi government from all criticism. The question is, the government is functioning with so much lack of human resources. You see, Ashwini Vaishnav, is he the full-time railway minister, or he is given portfolios of other ministry also? He has to put his brain to so many things, and we expect him. So that is the one serious question, that Modi government is seriously suffering from human resources in his cabinet.
Can I make a point?
No, please don't interrupt.
Let's talk about human resources.
I'm waiting for long.
But Mr.
How many portfolios does Mamata Banerjee hold?
Is Mamata Banerjee or Nitish Kumar or Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mr. Majumdar, hold on. Tushar, I'll come back to you. Tushar, one second. Are they in a position, any of them today, Mr. Majumdar, to speak on derailments, on collisions, given the data that we have? Haven't derailments and collisions, train accidents not taken place as under their watch as railway mantri?
Not that. Question is, when any derailment or any lacuna on behalf of, on the part of ministry, railway preparation is concerned, the people will question. You have to accept that.
Absolutely. And they must question. But are those questions backed with facts, Mr. Majumdar?
No.
Mamata Banerjee was quick to conclude that if it were not for the absence of Kavach, the anti-collision system, this accident would have not taken place. Where are the facts, Mr. Majumdar?
Ma'am, let me ask you one thing, that at the end, if your son is educated but that education don't come into handy, then you will say, ये education नहीं है तो क्या काम में तो नहीं आया, इसलिए कवच नहीं लगाया, because it will not act. That's why we have not put the kavach. Is that a good logic? But I am coming to another point for other people to answer.
That would not
So
have
there was a
worked.
problem with the Kavach, and then there was a problem with the Vande Bharat Express as well. There was a problem with the fact that the Modi government is going ahead with several inaugurations and its pet project, the Vande Bharat. So, is this a case of misplaced priorities? Are we just criticizing the Modi government for the sake of it, or is there any merit truly to the criticism coming in?
Now you answer me. That Subramaniam Swamy, BJP's nominated MP, why he is asking for resignation of Ashwini Vaishnav? There must be some merit into it. The second question, there are all the things Modi is announcing that Indian Railway has come up to another generation, uplifted from the earlier generation. Now this happened and you say that there are link failure, link line, signaling failure and railway friends. The friend from my railway.
Sir, I am in 100% agreement with you that a detailed probe should be carried out. I am in 100% agreement with you that these are no excuses, that one can't say that this was an interference with the signalling and merely get away with it. I am 100% with you on it. But quickly coming out to say that Ashwini Vaishnav must resign immediately instead of saying that let's wait till he's on ground. till he's on ground, he's ensuring that the restoration work is on in full swing, and once all of that is done, once the dust is settled, well, we may very well mount that pressure on the central government. I am just questioning the timing here, sir. Are we not even giving the families enough space and time to grieve?
Ashwini Vaishnav is not the key figure for the rescue and restoration. There are enough railway department people.
Okay, we don't need Ashwini Vaishnav at the accident site, not for over 30 hours. Tushar, how would you respond to Mr. Majumdar?
Kritsween, let me respond to both the party spokespersons here. First of all, the TMC spokesperson here says we do not have a dedicated railway minister. I admire his audacity and hypocrisy, because the chief minister he represents has 8 portfolios, and we all are looking at the condition in which West Bengal is. He criticizes the Vande Bharat, he questions the pursuits of the Indian Railways, but has done absolutely nothing to stop the stone pelting on the Havra route of the new Vande Bharat that has been inaugurated. Now coming to the Congress spokesperson, the Congress spokesperson says that the railway minister being present on the site is a publicity stunt. Kritsween, who can forget the 2013 Uttarakhand floods, when you had a government of the UP in the center and the government of UP in the state of Uttarakhand, and the relief material meant for those who were stranded in Uttarakhand, who were impacted by the floods, was parked. It did not reach them on time. So it's understandable why the UPA thinks that the railway minister being present on the site is a PR stunt, because when mishaps used to happen in their tenure, relief material was parked for days without reaching the designated victims. That is what the thinking is all about. And about the TMC, I would recommend that first stop the stone pelting on new trains in your state, and then talk about the larger safety under the Indian Railways.
Okay, but the question today is being asked, the question that is being asked is, if Lal Bahadur Shastri, Tushar, if Lal Bahadur Shastri, if Scindia, if Nitish Kumar, all of them could resign as railway mantris after these kind of accidents took place, why not Ashwini Vaishnav? In that sense, he can't be any exception. I mean, he was on ground zero, he was there for the people, he was there.
He can't be any exception. He can't be.
Can I come in, Christian?
I'll come to you, Mr. Choudhury, quickly.
He can't be an exception. I'm not advocating for him to be an exception. No. One thing, Kritsween. The resignation can come next week. It can come next month. It can come anytime. But can the rescue and the restoration work wait? Is it more important to have the railway minister resign first, or to ensure that the victims are rescued first, that the injured are looked after to, that the probe is conducted first? What are you going to prioritize? I understand these parties politicizing the issue, but the common citizen of India would want a probe, would want to get to the root of the accident, would want the injured to be taken care of, would want the victims' families to be addressed before a resignation comes.
So demanding the resignation of Ashwini Vaishnav could wait. It could wait, perhaps was not the need of the hour. Mr. Majumdar, before I come to you, Mr. Choudhury wanted to come in, and also to put this across to Mr. Choudhury. Mr. Choudhury, now that Ashwini Vaishnav himself this evening itself came out to say that the centre has recommended a CBI probe in the case, it's perhaps a matter of hours before we see the CBI take over. What is the problem that the Congress has with this now? Isn't that how things should perhaps move forward, apart from the several technical investigations that must take place, apart from an expert committee that must oversee and overlook what's going on? What is the issue with the CBI probe?
Okay, just give me 2 minutes to answer that question. Being a civil engineer, I have also studied in my courses what an interlocking system and what a signaling system is. On the loop line, if there is a train, that the technology is designed as such that the interlocking system will not divert an incoming train onto that train, because from point A to point B, there is no train supposed to be going on that line if a train is stuck up there. Then coming to the main point out here, you see the railway minister, he is a very intelligent man and qualified engineer occupying the post of the Minister of Railways. We do not have any problem. We have got a Commissioner of Safety in Indian Railways, which is very much competent enough to technically investigate such type of accidents. Now you see the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party out here. From yesterday, they have been trying to pit the entire accident as a sabotage. Sabotage angle is being brought in. Now by announcing a CBI inquiry into the entire incident, you give me the technical competence of the CBI in this investigation. This is a purely has to be a technically qualified investigators into this. Does the CBI has that much technical qualification? Point number one. Point number two. When we have got thousands of firearms being looted
but Mr. Chaudhury, the Congress was not content even when the Commissioner of Railway Safety Works, which is under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, was conducting an investigation. That cut no ice with the Congress party. Now they're not okay with the idea of a CBI probe. What's going to really satisfy the Congress then? Only Ashwini Vaishna's resignation.
I'm coming. How many railway accidents investigation has been conducted by the CBI till date? Thousands of arms have been looted in Manipur, and you do not let the NIA investigate that incident in Manipur. And now here a simple case of a technical failure or a human error that can as well be done by the Commissioner of Railway Safety, and you bring in the CBI just to bring in your theory of a sabotage angle.
Who are you to conclude?
Okay.
And who are you to question?
The fact remains, gentlemen, we're running out of time. We need to quickly wrap this up. The fact remains that we don't have anything on paper as yet. The details of what led to this accident have not been shared in public domain. They must be, and they must be done at the earliest. Whatever it takes, whichever investigation it takes, but the truth must come out for one and all. But before that, jumping to petty politics, perhaps giving yourself credit as a railway mantri, I'm not quite sure that's the best way to go about it, and that's most certainly not what the people of this country deserve, especially those who've lost their loved ones in this accident. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. We need to talk about other details that we're picking up with regards to this very story, but thank you for the moment.